Welcome to part 13 of Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1. It's time to end chapter 2, but first we're gonna go to Planet Neptune, because as I said in part 12, I downloaded Uzume, so on that note we might as well get her, since she's available in this chapter anyway. Now, I will eventually show her off when she's at the appropriate level, because every DLC character you run into is going to be, how should I put it? every character you're going to run into is going to be level 1. So on that note, I might as well just add some combos to Uzume. Well, I don't think I can. Crap. This is all I could give her at level 1, and this is basically what everyone would be at around a certain level, because I think Neptune is at level 5 at the start of the game, and so is Kappa. Just saying, but everyone else that starts off at level 1, you're gonna have to add whatever movesets you have on them, or they'll end up like being at around the level you are at when they first introduced, like all the non-DLC characters are. Whatever the case, I'm changing up my all of my combos for the characters that I'm going to be using because of the end boss. Well, I won't be doing this for Iffy, because unfortunately Iffy has no elemental attacks. I don't know why. It's kind of odd, but she doesn't have any elemental attacks. But she does have elemental finishers though. Basically, I am making EXE slaves. No, EXE slaves. That's basically what it is. And I'm adding thunder to most of my hits too. It would actually make this fight go on a lot faster and a lot easier. And that way we'll be just fine. So on that note, this part is long for a reason. There is a lot, and I repeat, a lot of cutscenes. Some of which are talking, others are not. So yeah, let's get into Avenir Storage No.3. Oh, and one other thing. Once you get in, you'll need an eject button to get out, because there's no save point nor exit in that stage.
And so, Nep and family have arrived to a closed factory for Avenir's work. You're happy as usual. Hey, when you don't have your memory, you can do whatever you want.
I sometimes admire your free nature. In any case, what's this about being called to this kind of place?
It's been a while, folks. I'd like to have work done again from you.
Hiya there. You must work a lot. Don't get burned out, you hear?
Do I look that busy? I've been taking my breaks quite liberally.
I wish I could take breaks when I want to.
Well, most of our work is handled by machines, so things are easy. Now, getting back to business, let's get right into the subject. As you can see, it has been years since this facility was in operation.
So, what are we doing here?
There is a certain item we have not recovered since the closure. We want you to find it and bring it back to us.
Is that it? Wow, it sounds even easier than before.
It does, doesn't it? Well, on the contrary, there's monsters there now.
I see. So you need us to go in and take care of that, too. So what's this thing we need to recover? It sounds pretty important.
It is a certain ore. We call it the Lastation. Just 1 gram holds energy to power a game console for 10,000 years. The excavation of it is difficult, so we'd like to recover what we have.
I've never heard of such an ore before.
Lastalite? I've never heard of it too.
If it's that great, I would at least know about it.
Well, of course. We held monopoly of this ore. We did not disclose it for the sake of holding full control of it.
Well, if it's that super, do you mind giving us a small wee bit? Hey, Nep, no fooling around now. But Iffy, it can run game consoles for 10,000 years! It's like the magic power we gamers were looking for all our lives!
Well, if you would like some, I can certainly spare a small bit.
Really?
Yes. We were able to work efficiently because of your work the last time. As long as you keep this a secret, I don't see any harm sharing a bit.
Yay! I thought Avenir was kinda blah, but Ganache saved the day.
I'm happy to know that. Now, we don't want to waste time here. Please take care of the order.
Okay, leave it to Captain Nep and her friendly crew. Sure, Captain. Lead us to the depths of the ocean. What? Why did the entrance close behind us? Ganache, what's going on?
Oh, my bad. I must have pressed something. Well, that's not quite true. I shut it for my convenience. I'd like to ask you all to satisfy the hunger of the monsters there.
What do you mean?
Hey, what? Why? I'm not gonna go get your precious ore if you do this.
I'm surprised you've actually believed what I said. Of course there's no such thing as an ore that can house that much energy.
What? You tricked us? But why?
I already know you are assisting Xion of Passé. I assume you were trying to get information on our exhibit plans, no?
Iffy, they knew all along. Can't believe they knew about this.
We would win regardless, but I'm the careful type, you know. Now then, I don't have much time, so I need to go. Farewell.
Wait, Ganache!
Well, looks like the way out is sealed tight.
Iffy, what's gonna happen to us?
Well... I'm sorry.
This is all my fault. If I didn't suggest taking Avenir's work, this wouldn't have...
Oh, come on, gals. What's the matter? This isn't like us. It's not like we can't get out. Let's just try to look for another way.
Neptune.
Nep is right. This is a large area, so there has to be a way out. I'm not one to become monster food. Let's go.
Now, about what I said earlier about there being no save point and also no exit, I wasn't lying. You have to go through to find the exit in the opposite end, because there is indeed no save point whatsoever. and when you do, that'll take you to the chapter end boss. Now here's the thing about this stage. You're gonna have enemies like the Bit Customs, the Pox Vaders, and the I think the Dogu Feelers? Or Healing Dogu, whatever the hell they are. Yeah, Healing Dogu, that's what they are.
Now, what to do?
These guys are going to be a constant thing in this dungeon. And for the most part, you might want to try to get rid of these Pox Vaders and get rid of the custom bits, because the custom bits can make other enemies strong. Pox Vaders can cast virus on your CPUs. So if you want to try to transform, it would be a terrible thing if you get,
That was easy.
oh well, infected with a virus. Thankfully, oracles and makers do not have to worry about that, but CPUs do. Oh, and I need to just add a few things. I'll be right back. Seriously, I had to sit through that whole cutscene just to get to this part again? Good grief. Anyway, I had to go and get me a disc before I actually got started to put on the Uzume, or at least put on to Iswar to replace the one that Uzume had. But nonetheless, we're in, once again, another voice actless cutscene. Like, it's just a wall of text, but they happen to run into yet another disc. Ganache basically put those discs in this storage unit to trap the CPUs and to stall them on, well, and to stall them with monsters, basically. That's what they've done. Now, why did they do that? You'll find out later. But for now, we'll run into an enemy disc that will have most of the enemies that is in this dungeon in it. And as such, if I run into any of those enemies that happens to be, well, in the disc, I will skip the fights entirely with them because I do end up running into them on my way to trying to get out of the dungeon. But there's one specific enemy that I wanted to show off, and that was the whale that happens to be here. So on that note, we will try to, how shall I put this? On that note, we will try to continue on to getting all of the items that are in this dungeon. Sorry, I'm stuttering here. And more importantly, we would actually try to get the hidden item that's here in this dungeon too. Now, here's the thing. Those discs that we saw back in Neptune, we didn't let the Basilicom know here in Lastation because they kicked everybody out that was coming in, because obviously Avenir's the one that's been planting these discs in the first place. So it's like telling them, hey, we found your disc. That's basically what this is. Oh, and the monsters then came out of the disc. So guess what? We're going into a mandatory mook rush. It's the whole point of this storage area is to gain level for everyone who is not at level 25. So you might want to be at level 25 before coming to Avenir, because it is going to be tough as nails to deal with it, especially since you're not going to be able to get out without an eject button. So on that note,
Of you facing me.
we've got Bit Customs, Pixel Vaders, and of course, what the hell was that I just ran into? Ah, R4. Wait, what? Not that R4. I had to stop and think about that for a second, because there's an enemy named R4. The boss is named R4. So, yeah. It's kind of either lazy or awkward, whichever one comes first. Well, this monster's gone. Now it's time for the remainder.
Here's your reward.
Which, by the way, oh, I forgot to mention, the Pixelvators also seal attacks, so, yeah. Make sure you have anti-seal on you, because you're gonna need it.
Now's the time.
By the way, anti-seal is a plan. Seal proof definitely helps,
Fine.
because for some reason, enemies here, most of them anyway, will tend to seal them or paralyze you, whichever one comes first.
How's this?
Meanwhile, I am just going complete and total AWOL on these piddling enemies because of the fact that I came in already at HDD because of the cutscene. So, just a little bit of slashing and slicing and dicing and... Did it just die? Yes, it did. Oh my goodness, it just frame rate skipped.
I guess that's about it.
It was planning on crashing, wasn't it?
I leveled up.
God damn it. But, thanks to all of that, at least we got some level. Now, for your first playthrough, you run into these enemies, that's a lot of experience for you. So, yeah, make sure that you have the super experience up option in the maker system, so that way you'll be able to gain the experience that happen to come from these enemies, because you're going to need a lot of experience and a lot of moves and anything else to save yourself from getting the hell beat out of you by the end chapter boss. Neptune is still mad because, well, no, Neptune will eventually be mad because of the fact that she didn't get to break a disc. But at least she was praised. Now, here's another thing I forgot to mention. We did not find the key fragment yet. Normally, you would find the key fragment before we continue, but unfortunately, we haven't stumbled upon that yet. I'm gonna give you a spoilers, we haven't found the key fragment at the end of chapter 2 either, so bear that in mind. It'll come back to that later. Right now, well, right now, everyone's having a time to goof off moment, so, they're trying to catch up to speed nor on the situation with Iswar, because that's why they need the key fragments in the first place, which is why they came to Lastation. Again, oh, sorry about that, I just dropped something, thankfully it wasn't my microphone. Again, we might not get it until probably later on. And that's due to the fact that Avenir has the entirety of Lastation on lockdown. So we have to run those jokers out in order for her to actually get the key fragment in the first place. So for the right now, the time being, we need to worry about getting out. And of course, Noir Tsundere kind of put Neptune in a downward mood again, but that's okay. It gets completely repaired in about a few seconds, because that's how Neptune is. Very sporadic. Unless you truly, truly hurt her feelings. Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 3. She's a person that'll easily forgive. The tsundere is just coming out. But yes, folks, This is the kind of comedy that you would expect. I just can't help but laugh. And everybody realizes that Nora is just lying to herself, constantly trying to pull the tsundere car. And then if he says that, she mentions a hotel. If I have realized what she just said, and now it finally dawned on her. And even then, I kind of missed that too. Oh man, this game has some funny moments. But she's the one who said they could do whatever they want in the hotel. Why does everybody else's mind have to be in the gutter? But yes, this is one of the longer cutscenes, and thankfully it didn't crash throughout all of this, which is what I'm thankful for. But yeah, it's long because of cutscenes like this. By the way, I started at the 7-minute mark. We're almost at the 11. Do you see what I mean? So, on that note, once they're finished playing around, we can proceed on. Oh goodness, Nora with that tsundere line. I didn't do it for you or anything. How many times are we going to hear that tsundere line over and over again? Every anime has to have an obligatory tsundere. Why is that? I'm baffled. I really am. But nonetheless, we're gonna keep continuing on and we're gonna press through. But first, we're gonna pick up some items here. And oh look, there's a whale and there's that thing. Yikes. I may take that behemoth on in the next part at least. But for right now, let's just go on ahead and deal with the risky foe that's here. Okay, not that one. Well, first, let's get all the items here first. Then we're going to deal with the risky foe next.
Is there something in here?
Is there anything else? Oh yeah, there was. There it is. Now let's go on ahead and take care of that risky...
An ambush?
Oh, right. I was about to say risky foe, but that's not the case. We've ran into Watango? Whatever the hell those are. Yes, Watango. Matango.
It's my
Goodness.
turn.
I can't even say their name right. But there's a bunch of mushrooms here. Let's kill them.
Too slow.
At least for the most part, all of this is giving me EXE drive so I could go on ahead and take on, well, one of the mandatory fights here.
Out of my way.
So there is that.
That was easy.
Unfortunately, we didn't get what we want. So, well, actually, we kind of did, because that's their rare drops. But what I was trying to do is get that Chow whale over there. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Or I think that's a whale. I'll figure out what it is later. In fact, maybe we'll figure that out now, even though we don't have a save point. So on that note, let's pick up this item here. And I'll be right back, because I think my computer's a little bit overheated. So I'll be right back.
Found something.
I'm back, and I got my computer cooled off now.
I'll take
It's
care of
time
you
for us to go
personally.
toe-to-toe with the whale. This isn't the boss, but this is a risky foe. Might as well take it down. And besides, I need the EXE for later.
Too slow.
Well, not for the end chapter boss, unfortunately, because of something completely screwy, and I'll get to that point soon enough. But for right now, I need to take down the whale, and the whale is one of 2 risky foes that comes in when you put in tougher foes for Avenir Storage 3. Just like with the child whale, you can just whale on this thing, no pun intended, and get enough, I would say, EXE as well as experience to actually deal damage to this thing. Oh, and if he poisoned them, good work, IF. Oh, the whale itself, it's a dangerous thing. You see, the whale can actually seal your moves, so bear that in mind. And notice, not once have I decided to transform, because you're going to be using Avenir's Garage 3 as a grinding base. And, oh god, if he's been sealed again. It's okay. We'll just let Noir and Plutia take care of it. Hey, don't you seal me again, you bastard! That's okay, we've got him. And he is weak to thunder attacks, so bear that in mind. It also helps that Noir has a combo link. I'm pretty sure any other character is going to have combo link as well, so having combo link really helps. I think IF will get hers like way later, like in the 80s. Speaking of 80s, well, Pishi has already made it to level 85, so I don't think I'll be using her for a good time. Oh, for time being, actually. More like Pishi would be completely overpowered when we try to take on the final boss of the game. So there is that. And now we run into yet another cutscene without no dialogue. This time we run into well, Neptune's exhaustion, and also we run into another monster disc. Ganache was really trying his hardest to, you know, screw these girls up and slow them down. But unfortunately, it's gonna backfire. Now, there is one thing I want to mention first. This whole ordeal with Ganache, there was an NPC, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this like several parts ago. There was an NPC in the original called Jade. He was far worse than Ganache and later Ivoire would ever be. He would actually do all the dastardly plans like sealing us into the storage facility and keeping us from going any further, try to sabotage and destroy the expo, and more importantly, try to cause problems later on in Louis and also in Leanbox. Eventually, after causing so much problems in Leanbox and in Louis, once you manage to catch up with him and defeat him, well actually, you catch up with him and defeat the monster that he leaves behind, IF kills him because he mentions that he likes girls like, or was it Neptune? No, it was Neptune that kills him because he mentioned something about he likes girls like Lady Whiteheart. In other words, he likes lollies. So yeah, he's not in this game, but Ganache is. Ganache was just like the hitman, or was basically like the side character, not as prominent as Jade, but in this game, he's pretty much taking most of Jade's personality and his exploits from the previous game that was rebooted, and I think Ivoire does the same thing. Too bad those NPCs do not actually have character models. Then again, in a game full of cute girls, why would there be a guy? Oh wait, there's Zumio, but he doesn't count. Anyway, time for us to go for the boss. I've rambled on enough. They've accidentally tripped up a disc, and we run into R41S. I can't see that. Damn, I need my glasses. And damn, this game needs to stop crashing. Yeah, y'all saw that, right? It was trying to crash. It really was. And this isn't my screen recorder's fault. No, it is the game itself.
Prepare yourself.
So, all we need to do is just keep hammering away at this monstrosity. Thankfully, thunder is its weakness. So, and I think thunder is basically most of the enemy's weaknesses here.
Fine.
And due to the fact that Plutia is already at a high level, having an EX finish would definitely make things a hell of a lot easier. That's why I said I needed it, as opposed to just spam EX moves. Honestly, you could spam EXE moves anyway, because due to the convoluted BS of the boss, you're not going to be able to take the EXE meter with you. So there is that. And we've managed to beat the boss. Now it's time for us to get out of this storeroom once and for all. And that's probably a mandatory story fight. But that's, if you really want to actually get an item from that monstrosity that I just beat up, you have to actually run into him in this area in the story. So there's that, because there's not a other version of that. Okay, let me rephrase that. There's another version of that, but it'll drop something else. I'm trying to remember what this thing dropped. I'll probably show it off later on in a part. But for right now, Noir went there and broke the disc again, and Neptune was so happy to try to break the disc. Unfortunately, Noir beat her to the punch. And Neptune so wanted to break those discs. It's going to be a long-running game. I mean, long-running gag, sorry, in the game. But she wanted so badly to break the disc, and now she's not going to be able to until we get to the next land. And speaking of getting to the next area, we're not going to be getting to the next area in this part. Oh no, all of this is literally the end of Chapter 2. And yes, it's a long, long cutscene. And as soon as we step out, we're gonna get into a talking cutscene. So on that note, we need to exit, because unfortunately you're not gonna be able to save. Like, at all. And I think I forgot the hidden item here. Oh wait, the hidden item's not gonna show up until after we beat the stage. So, later.
Yay! We're outside!
Being under the warm sun feels so good.
Perfect for taking a nap.
Yes, it would be nice to relax under the sun.
What's the matter? You've been quiet.
I was wondering what Ganache was trying to accomplish.
You mean about trapping us there?
Yeah. Was it really to get rid of us? With the enemy discs there, maybe there was another motive.
Another motive? It seems like he knew who I was, so it was probably meant for me. I have to apologize to everyone later for getting them involved.
Oh, Iffy, you're such a worrywart. You're thinking too much. We came out in one piece, so all is good. Let's just go back to Xion. What? That's right, Xion! She's in danger!
What do you mean, Iffy?
Remember what Ganache said when he trapped us?
I already know you are assisting Xion of Passé. I assume you were trying to get information on our exhibit plans, no?
Iffy, they knew all along.
I can't believe they knew about this.
We would win regardless, but I'm the careful type, you know. Well, I don't have much time, so I need to go now. Farewell.
He knew we were helping Xion. That means she's the next target.
What? Well then, we need to get back to her pronto.
What's he thinking? Targeting civilians just for the expo? Now I'm really mad. I won't let Ganache or Avenir get away with this.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Now Noir is really mad.
Noir, you're scaring me.
You girls, stop with the jibber jabber! Let's hurry and save Xion!
Yes!
And sure enough, Xion's in trouble. And yeah, this is also a non-dialogue part. But Ganache has run roughshod through Lastation, pretty much destroying Lastation. Well, it couldn't get any worse. Oh wait, it could. The boss at the end of this chapter. Oh, excuse me, I am having a little bit of indigestion, my bad. But Xion was almost, I think Xion was actually almost hurt, but she left. But now she's going to try to go to the Basilicom to ask for Lady Blackheart's help. The problem, one, she's standing right there. Two, even if she goes to the Basilicom, she's not going to be able to get any help from them. Avenir has completely dominated the Basilicom. So on that note, Noir will have to step up and face Ganache on her own actually, and oh god, kill Sheen. I don't think Sheen was in the last game. In the very first game, he wasn't. But Sheen was a prominent thing in Mark II. In fact, Sheen was like fought 5 or 6 times in Mark II. So remember all those times I said, thank God they took away all the fights with the CPUs, where you have to fight them repeatedly in a Hyperdimension Neptunia, and they only have it to where you only find them at least once or twice. Oh boy! Sheen, you're gonna probably be seeing this guy about 6 times. One of which is actually a risky foe. So, good luck with that! And I think the other's a Coliseum fight too. That one you don't have to worry about. The other times, yeah, he's actually a risky foe, so good luck with that. And when I first played this game, Sheen kicked my ass. This is all the reason why I'm saying that you need to be at least 10 or 20 levels higher than what you were when you left. When you left Chapter 1, you need to be at level 15. Chapter 2, you need to be at level 25 or level 30. Now, Chapter 3, I recommend you don't leave until you're level 40. But, yeah. We'll get to Sheen in just a moment. Ganache just realized who exactly he's actually facing. And now that I stop and think about it, how in the hell was he fooled by eyeglasses? Eyeglasses! And more importantly, Noir was trying to have good heroic dialogue with Ganache, but Neptune is bored. Breaking the fourth wall again. I love this game so much. But damn, so much breaking of the fourth wall, it's not even funny. Let's just hope the fourth wall doesn't cause the game to shut down. But whatever the case, She just broke the fourth wall so bad, it just ruined Noir's heroic speech. And of course, Neptune's not getting any pudding for it, but hey, at least it's not as bad as her pudding being stolen. I'm looking at you, Rebirth 3. Anyway, and she just broke the fourth wall too! Whew. Man, fourth wall is gonna probably be dead by the end of this playthrough. And just a word of warning, Purple Heart also breaks the fourth wall. And Ganache just realized who it was that he was messing with. He's now messing with Purple Heart, and now, finally, after all the time fighting, we now can play as Whiteheart as well. Or Blackheart, sorry. Wrong CPU. Whiteheart is blonde. Oops. So now, playing as Noir, we are facing off against Lastation. Noir's automatically going to be in your party regardless of what you do. If she's not in your party, then she's going to be forced into your party.
Looks like we finally got a tough one against us.
So here's the skinny on this guy. You are not going to be able to chop down that guard bar at all. Lastation hits like a truck. All the more reason why you need to be a level 25. And more importantly, excuse me a second. Sorry about that, my sister picks me a plate of dinner, so I pretty much cut off the recording. Anyway, time for the deal with Lastation. Lastation has high attack and a ridiculously high guard break, which is double his health. The trick? You're gonna have to use lightning to chop down, or thunder element, sorry, to chop down his actual HP because his guard break is way too high, which is why I have strength boosters. So on that note,
It's time for your punishment.
you can also use things like verbal attack or any other attack that the CPUs have that lowers the defense or any sort of abilities from Lastation.
May I begin?
But if you don't have Plutia or anybody else,
Gentle force.
you're stuck with Neptune, Noir, Kappa, and also
So, who wants to get beaten?
IF. It's best to keep Kappa out of the battle because Kappa cannot buff anybody. She can heal, but she can't buff. I mean, she can use items, but she can't really buff anybody's stats.
Got you.
So Neptune and Noir will be the only ones doing the dirty work. And of course, if you put like thunder element attacks on Noir and Neptune, they'll chop down Lastation's health dramatically. All we need is just one EXE bar. And by the way, need I mention, even though we're supposedly back here, well, actually, no, we're in Lastation, never mind. But as I was about to say, it is a bullshit move that we can't carry over our EXE bar to the next fight. It really is.
I'll slice anything.
But now that I've got one on the EXE bar, now it's time for me to finish this fight once and for all with a combo
I'll
link.
slice anything.
And one good slash, and done.
Did I go too hard
That's
on
basically how you're gonna
Well,
deal with
too
Lastation, and Lastation really is a
Level
hard
up.
fight if you're not dealing with level. If you're not playing with level 78 characters. If I was playing with Uzume, we'd be here for a while. And this part's already long as it is. So, with that said, now for the big reveal of Neptune's memories. Because guess what? In the first game, I know y'all probably are tired of me comparing the first game to this, but I have to actually get people up to speed. Because in the first game, the plot about Neptune losing her memories and trying to regain them, when she finally regains them, is near the end of the game. And that's provided you're going to the normal route. yeah. Near the end of the game, Neptune finds out who she is. And when she does, she's soloing Kappa and Noir. I mean, Kappa and IF. Not Kappa and Noir, I mean Kappa and IF. And Kappa and IF will have to fight Neptune. It's bad enough in that game, fighting CPUs is ridiculously hard. Neptune was the hardest one of the bunch. Thankfully, you only have to fight her once, but still, she was unfairly hard because she was already going in at CPU mode. And that's bullcrap. Thankfully, you don't have to worry about that because they've already revealed that Neptune's the, well, not just Neptune's the CPU of Planeptune, but Noir's the CPU of Lastation. Although in Noir's case, she's feigning amnesia, and she's also feigning, being a cosplayer and using glasses to try to, hide amongst the people to find out exactly what's going on with Planeptune. So on that note, Neptune is probably flabbergasted that she forgot that she's the CPU of Planeptune. But then again, that's Noir's fault, because the final hit from Noir caused her to fall out of the sky and land face first onto the ground. I can't show my variety of expressions in this form. Jesus Christ, Neptune. You are just gonna basically break the fourth wall if it's not already dead. But, there you go. Neptune is actually the CPU. And I just noticed something. Like, when Neptune transforms, she gets, like, pigtails. But when she, reverts back, her hair's shorter. But then again, there's Adult Nep and Mega Dimension Neptunia V2. And Neptune is still confused. Very confused that she's a CPU. But she's gonna roll with it after the start of Chapter 3. But we will be revisiting Avenir Storage because there's a monster we're gonna have to deal with right before we do it, the start of Chapter 3. So look forward to that in Part 14. I know this is a long part and I hope you haven't backed out of it. But I'll see you guys next time, and oh yeah, there's gonna be a special surprise on Saturday. Look for it.